Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we have a really unusual and insightful stack of sources. We're not wading through market reports or anything like that.
No, this is different.
Instead, we're embarking on a very personal journey. It's a family travelogue detailing a return to Vancouver.
And not just any city. This is the very city where the central couple in our sources met, 11 years ago, during the SIGGRAPH conference in August 2014.
Exactly. So this deep dive is really for anyone who appreciates both the tactical side of things and the more profound.
Absolutely. We're synthesizing these practical, logistical hacks that made a big trip possible with two small kids, but also looking at the deep emotional weight of revisiting a foundational moment in their lives.
And the mission, as the source material puts it, is to analyze this whole full circle moment. What does it actually mean to go back to a place that changed your life, especially when your life itself is, well, completely different?
Right. It's more than just nostalgia. The sources define it as a kind of braiding of memory, ancestry, and synchronicity.
A braiding. I like that.
Yeah. It's this active process of seeing the past and present together, seeing how far you've come. And the tension right away is that they brought their two daughters, Nova and Junie.
They're little guides.
Exactly. Who are experiencing this place for the first time, basically laying new memories right on top of the old ones.
And that transition from, a couple on a work trip to a family of four, that immediately sets the stage for the first big challenge, logistics.
Oh, always.
Because before you can have some profound emotional moment on a seawall, you have to successfully get on a plane.
100%. And the sources spend a good amount of time on this. There was this initial resistance to even starting the packing process.
I can relate to that.
The sheer volume of stuff for two kids just felt overwhelming. But credit is given to efficient husband Josh, who is described as packing everything like a Tetris master the morning they left.
Last minute, high-stakes organization.
Exactly. And that became the foundation for the trip's practical success.
A huge part of that success was their transportation strategy. They chose to rely almost entirely on Vancouver's transit system.
Which is famously excellent.
Right, which meant they could skip the enormous hassle of traveling with bulky car seats. So the MDP of the whole trip, the source insists, was the Baby Jogger City Select Double Stroller.
And that's a crucial insight for any parent listening. Recognizing the strength of the local infrastructure, the SkyTrain, the buses, it let them shed all this major cargo.
The stroller became their mobile command center.
Pretty much. A nap station, snack cart, everything.
But, and this is a great detail, the physical reality of Vancouver hit them hard.
The hills.
The hills. After living in flat Florida, pushing that double stroller up Vancouver's relentless hills turned the vacation into this grueling, unexpected workout.
And that detail, while it's logistical, it's also deeply part of the memory. When you have to exert that much physical effort to get somewhere, the memory of that place becomes more durable.
More earned.
Exactly. It links the struggle directly to the reward.
Speaking of ingenuity, we have to talk about the Lowe's grill cover.
Oh, this is the best part.
This is the practical nugget every traveling parent needs to hear. They'd ordered special stroller bags from Amazon, but they didn't fit. And Spirit Airlines, as they point out, doesn't provide gate check bags.
So they're facing this disaster scenario, right? Putting their expensive trip-critical stroller unprotected into the baggage hold. Instead, Josh goes to a Lowe's, buys a heavy-duty grill cover for a barbecue. And it worked perfectly as a replacement stroller bag for the gate check.
That is just next-level problem solving. It's not just a hack. It's a brilliant pivot when the system fails you.
It really is. It just underscores the resourcefulness you need for family travel.
But even Tetris masters can't control the airlines.
No. They get there 3 hours early, everything's going smoothly, and then their flight is delayed. 3 hours. No warning.
And the source describes this so perfectly, it's like flipping the Jenga tower.
That's it. All that careful planning just suddenly feels useless.
What's fascinating, though, is how differently everyone reacted. The adults were stressed, but the kids, surprisingly resilient.
Yeah, Nova just pulls out a drawing kit that Josh had packed and, goes into her own world. And Junie is just observing the chaos, like she's watching a documentary.
The flight itself was uncomfortable, of course, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And you get this perfectly universal quote from Nova, "I'm done with flying, can we get off now?"
Every parent, every person has felt that.
So that brings us to section 2. Landing and nostalgia, they finally arrive, and the whole dynamic just shifts.
Instantly.
The girls wake up, and the family has to make this breathless, laughing sprint to catch the last train into the city. That urgent scramble immediately injects this energy into the trip, a sense of shared mission.
And the connection to the past was almost immediate. Walking to their hotel, they pass a souvenir shop, and the mother realizes this is the exact store where she bought tiny toy beavers 11 years ago.
Her We Met in Canada keepsake.
Yes. It was this tangible link that just anchored them right back to 2014.
Now, the accommodation sounds like it played a huge role in the trip's success. They stayed at the Coast Cole Harbor Vancouver Hotel by APA. What made it stand out?
Well, first, the location was perfect, super walkable, minutes from the seawall, Stanley Park, the convention center. But the details that really elevated it, especially for the parents, were the small comforts.
Okay.
The source specifically calls out the Japanese-inspired rooms and the legendary heating TOTO washlet toilets.
Ah, yes, the washlets. For anyone unfamiliar, this might sound odd, but it really speaks volumes about adult luxury on a family trip.
It's comfort engineering. Heated seats, bidet functions. It's a huge step up from your standard hotel setup. When you're in the chaos of family travel, these little pockets of sophisticated comfort become so memorable.
A moment of adult serenity.
Exactly. And the emotional payoff for being there happened on day one. They're walking the seawall, telling the girls their origin story right outside the Westin Hotel where they first met.
Setting the scene.
The scene is perfectly set. And then it's like the universe provides a sign. As they finish the story, a yacht passes by named Nova Spirit.
Wow, okay, that's the kind of synchronicity that gives you chills. It's hard to just brush that off.
It's a direct link. Their daughter's name, the reason their family even exists, appearing in the physical place where their story began.
And the source material frames it as this undeniable moment. Not about proving fate, but just acknowledging when the past and present feel perfectly aligned.
It really solidified that full circle theme right away.
And to deepen that sense of place, they also visited the iconic whale sculpture.
Yeah.
This detail adds this crucial cultural context that I think is so important.
It really is. It moves the trip beyond just a personal story.
So tell us about the significance of the whales, because this ties back to that idea of ancestry for the mission statement.
Right. So for many indigenous people in the Pacific Northwest, whales are seen as guardians of wisdom and memory. There's this profound belief that their songs are actually the voices of ancestors carried through the water. So standing there with their daughters, looking at that art, the mother described feeling held in that lineage of memory.
That's beautiful. It transforms just visiting a landmark into connecting with the ancient history of the land.
Exactly. It elevates their personal story by grounding it in something much, much older and larger than them.
Which brings us beautifully into Section 3, seeing the city through wonder. This is where the high-tech origins of their relationship collide with nature and science.
Yeah, on day 2, the father visits SIGGRAPH again, and this time he brings the family along.
We should probably give some context for SIGGRAPH.
You should. It's the Special Interest Group on Computer Graphics and Interactive Techniques. It is the premier conference for computer graphics in the world. The source calls it a tech playground for grown-ups.
And they're wandering past booths from, the Avengers of computer graphics.
Yeah.
Pixar, Disney Animation, ILM, NVIDIA, Autodesk, Epic Games, Adobe.
All the heavy hitters. But the real insight came from watching Nova and Junie. They were completely unfazed by all the multi-million-dollar tech, treating these futuristic prototypes.
VR headsets, motion capture rigs.
Like they were just new toys at Target.
That perspective is just invaluable, isn't it? It strips away all the jargon and just reduces it to pure exploration.
From that cutting-edge tech, they pivoted pretty dramatically to nature on day 3. Stanley Park and the Vancouver Aquarium.
Total sensory immersion, shark talks, watching jellyfish that were described as floating galaxies, the sound of otters.
And here's a key detail for any parent listening. Successful nap time.
The Holy Grail.
The mother took the baby jogger stroller out onto the seawall, and the girls slept for over an hour. And for her, that walk, surrounded by the mountains and the ocean, was this huge mental break. She said she felt held.
But peace is always temporary.
Always. The struggle of the Vancouver hills returned with a vengeance on the walk back. She's pushing the double stroller, exhausted. A real physical challenge.
And this is where it all comes together. While she's struggling, Nova starts cheering her on.
Yeah, she starts chanting, "Push, mama, push!"
That little cheer just crystallizes the whole trip, right? The kids, who are the source of the logistical burden, suddenly become the source of this profound, motivating joy.
It reframes the pain as shared determination. That's a core memory being made right there.
Their final major activity was on day 4, taking the subway to Science World. This visit reinforced a kind of philosophical insight the mother noted. If you stay amazed, life becomes heaven on earth.
And Science World was the perfect place for that. Everything was touchable, explorable, alive. Water tables, giant foam structures,
Yeah.
physics exhibits.
It was designed to fuel that same childlike curiosity they saw at SIGGRAPH.
Totally. And the souvenirs they brought home really highlight the trip's legacy. Nova got a nerd in training shirt connecting her back to that tech world.
But they also bought children's books, specifically about indigenous cultures.
And this is key. It makes sure the cultural learning from the whale sculpture wasn't just a fleeting moment. They focused on lessons about how every animal carries meaning, how totems honor the harmony between humans and nature.
So the memory is linked back to the wisdom of the land itself.
Exactly. Respect and legacy. The trip finally wrapped up with Nova's birthday celebration, foggy and rainy, overlooking the mountains and ocean. Just a soft, contemplative ending.
So if we step back, what's the core takeaway from this whole journey?
The core learning, really, is that returning to a significant place isn't just about revisiting a location, it's about revisiting yourself. It's a chance to see who you've become and who you're becoming.
It's that blend of the mundane and the magical, isn't it? The practical stuff, the grill cover, the hills, the delay. It becomes inseparable from the profound emotional moments.
Like the Nova Spirit yacht or feeling held by the mountains.
Which raises an important question for you, our listener, to think about. If our memories are so tied to physical places, how does returning years later with completely new people in your life, like your children, how does that fundamentally change the memories themselves?
Does the memory of that place become less about what was and maybe more about what the return made possible? Something to mull over. We'll be back soon for another deep dive.